Favorite guys.
And we're on. Hi, this is Double Talk. I'm Mark Steffen. Joining me today, sitting in for Michael Mandel, is Jeff Barnet. Jeff, thanks for sitting in.
You're welcome, and good evening, Las Cruces.
You've been here with us before. Some years back, you filled in for Michael.
I did. Well, I was a guest one time. I was grilled.
Oh, that's right. Well, there'll be none of that today.
Oh, okay, good.
But, you know, this is our St. Paddy's Day show. St. Patrick's Day is Tuesday.
Kiss the Blarney Stone.
Kiss the Blarney Stone, will you? And usually the last couple of years, Michael and I have had tastings of Irish whiskeys.
Oh.
Now, we're not doing it this year because we've tasted all the Irish whiskeys. No need to do it again.
Oh.
Well, there's always a need to do it.
That would have been a need because I'm here and I haven't done it.
That's true, but Michael's the one who has all the whiskey.
Yeah, I guess.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of things going on Tuesday in connection with St. Paddy's Day. You have things going on at Dublin's, big-time Irish bar. They're going to have all kinds of doings over there. You've got De La Vega's has big Irish things happening there. And also Graham's Central Station has big Irish happenings going on down there. And I'm sure Ump 88 would too, because they serve Irish food and Irish beer, and there used to be an Irish bar, and I guess it still is.
Yeah, it's an Irish Empire bar.
Yes, absolutely. Now, do you happen to have any Irish ancestry in your blood like I do?
Oh, I do. Yes, we were the Irish people that snuck out.
So. Celts on the run.
I think so. Actually, my sister says we were Irish Jews.
Uh-huh.
And Barnet's with one T. So.
I see.
That's my sister. So.
I see. I actually had Irish ancestors who came over as indentured servants.
Yes. This is a very uplifting show.
They had to work 7 years to pay off that debt, and then they got a little bit of land when they were done.
Now let's talk about the potato famine. There was no famine.
Well, there wasn't?
That's what Sinead O'Connor said.
Sinead O'Connor said
well, this is very tense, but they said the English actually just took all the food out and left the Irish there to starve.
I see.
That's what it was. It wasn't a famine.
Oh, well, I thought they had a potato blight and most of the potatoes died. But, you know, you'd think they're surrounded by the ocean. Couldn't they just go fishing?
Yeah.
And get all the food they wanted?
I don't know. I don't know if we should. I don't know if it's good to question the Irish about what they should have done tonight of all days. But yeah, I don't know. All I know is, you know what the largest city in the world is?
Mexico City?
No, it's Dublin.
Yeah?
Because it's Dublin every day.
It's Dublin every day.
Yeah. There
but you know, folks.
That's why
that's a bit of
I
Irish
came on
humor
the air today. That's why I wanted to do that.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Thank you. May the leprechauns get you. Now, here's something else going on in town. We mentioned this last week. The Las Cruces Vaqueros baseball team, semi-professional baseball team. It's kind of a farm league for the AAA ball players. They're back in town. They've been away from Las Cruces for a year or two. They're back now, and they'll be starting spring training any day now. Now, the thing with the Vaqueros is they need people to put them up in their homes while they're in Las Cruces training and then playing the games. Now, they're on the road a lot, so they won't be in your house all the time. But they have, I think, 3 local players are on the team, so they don't need to be put up. They have 20 other players who do need a place to stay while they're in Las Cruces, room and board. So it might be kind of fun to put up a baseball player. Some people even put up 2 at once. And if you're interested in doing this, the people to contact will be on your screen momentarily. There's an email address and a phone number you can refer to. And there it is right there. gentsdayspa@gmail.com. You can email your query there or your response to putting somebody up. And there's the phone number, 575-496-0964. If you have any interest at all in putting up some baseball players, give them a hand, because it's pretty much a volunteer team, really. The players make very little money. Pretty much they get their expenses paid for. They can't afford to put them up in hotels. It's really a bush league team. And have you ever seen any of the Vaqueros games?
I remember when they started. I was out there the first season, and it's a lot of fun going to that park, seeing Apodaca Park in action. And
they refurbished Apodaca Park. They did the new stadium seating is there. Channel 98 will be doing a promotion there one of the nights during the season. So of course there'll be more announcement about that when that does take place. So give the Vaqueros a hand if you can in any way. Now,
and
also
try out for the team.
Try out for the well, I think they've already got the team they need.
Well, I can relief pitch.
Can you?
Yeah, I have 2 1/3 innings in Pony League in 1974.
There you go.
Struck out 5.
Well, get that arm back in shape.
Yeah, half the team were girls, and that's nothing against women or their athletic abilities.
But the rest of the girls, you didn't strike out.
Yeah. Actually, it was. Never mind. It was bogus. The umpire. It was bogus. The whole thing never happened. Actually,
okay.
I was balking. I was turning on the mound the wrong way, and actually everything I did was a balk.
But they didn't call balks back then, did they?
They called balks the next game when a different umpire came in. But when the umpire was my junior high school biology teacher,
Wouldn't let you get away with anything.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, come out watch the game, or try out for the team, or whatever it is that you want to do.
Or put up some ball players in your house at the very least.
Yeah, oh, that's right. That's right.
At the very least. I'll take a couple. You can take some too, can't you?
I got room.
Okay, good deal. Now, going on today, right now as we speak until 4 o'clock over at Whiskey Dick's, is it's called the Real Car Show of Las Cruces fundraiser. This is the first annual one. The first annual because Ross Marks needs some money for his movie, and so this is the first year he's needed money for his movie, I guess. So the money goes to help independent filmmakers, local ones, and in this case it's going to be Ross Marks and the film he just finished shooting called The Heart Outright. And they're in post-production right now, and post-production can get expensive. That's where all the effect shots go in, that's where all the editing takes place, all the sound effects go in, and that's where the film is really made after you do all the shooting. You know, it's kind of a violent thing. When the shooting stops, the cutting begins on a movie. So that's what's going on right now. So there's going to be a lot of fun down there at Whiskey Dick's in the parking lot. It's free of charge. But any food and drink you buy inside Whiskey Dick's, a portion of that goes to the guys. There's going to be a dress like a movie star contest. So all you guys and gals who want to dress like your favorite movie star, go on down there and take place in the contest. There'll be a car show there, and some of the money from the entry fees from the cars and motorcycles will go to help fund the independent film scenario there.
And how many times can you have fun just in a parking lot?
Exactly. There'll be live music. Big Chili Country will be there. That's the internet country music station.
All right.
So that's going on over at Whiskey Dick's until 4 o'clock today. I'll be there. In fact, I'm leaving there right now. Come on down. If you see me there, come up and say hello. I'd like to talk to you. Now, today, Saturday, is Pi Day. What does that mean? Pi Day. Pi, 31415. Today's the 15th.
Yeah, but we need to take it back a step. Isn't it like the circumference of a circle?
What is pi?
Pi, yeah, this thing is, I think unless we know that, then we're just like the media, just here we are with some giant sensational story, 3.141592, and we don't even know what we're talking about.
Well, you know, pi is one of the most famous numbers in the world, and one of the most famous symbols in the world. There's even a movie with that symbol as its title.
Well, oh yeah, I saw that movie.
Right. Yeah. So pi has to do with the circumference of a circle, right?
Something like that.
But it's also an infinite number. It never ends.
That's right.
But the first 5 numbers, 3, 1, 4, 1, 5, 9, 2 on ad infinitum. And today's date is 3/14/15. That's why they're having Pi Day, and for that, to celebrate it, all the Las Cruces museums are open and having special events going on down there. So you can stop into any museum and celebrate Pi Day. I'm sure there'll be giveaways and probably T-shirts, sun visors.
And there's probably someone at that museum that can tell you how you get pi, what it means.
How you get to pi and what you can do with it.
And that mystery is what's going to drive you to the museums.
That's right. It'll all be solved. It'll be made abundantly clear, I'm sure.
You're not a geek. Go on down to Pi Day.
I may go down there just to find it out myself, so I don't have to look it up somewhere.
Yeah.
That's Pi Day. Now, I'm hungry for pie now. What's your favorite kind of pie?
I'm going to have to say apple pie.
Apple, it would be. How regular. Actually, I never.
Well, I was going to say French Supreme, like cream from Village Inn, and then I was like, how, frou-frou is that? And then I censored myself and said apple.
Okay.
Because I didn't want to say the other thing.
Which you really do prefer?
Yeah, I mean, if I had a choice,
anything.
I would have some big chocolatey thing with whipped cream on it and everything,
really?
And then just like, yeah.
Okay.
But I just didn't want to say that. I didn't want to out myself there.
All right.
So
I've always had a problem with apple pie. I think it's something about the texture of cooked apples I can't stand.
Yeah, it has to be done well.
I don't. So I'm a blueberry or a cherry guy. That's it. Those 2 pies.
Oh, that's good. Blueberry's good.
Yeah, you can't beat a good blueberry pie.
Yeah, that's true. You can't. With a flaky crust kind of.
With a
thing.
flaky crust, but you can't use shortening because that's it's partially hydrogenated. That's trans fats. So you can't use Crisco. You can't use lard.
Yeah.
They make the best crust, but unfortunately I don't eat those 2. Butter.
Wow.
Butter makes it's the next third choice
So
you have to go
you
with.
wouldn't make an exception just for like one
I wouldn't.
pie a year?
No, I wouldn't.
Really?
No, I'm that way.
Wow. Because are you concerned that then you might continue?
I might realize how good it really is, and once you open the door,
Yeah.
you're on that slippery slope then. So no, I'll go with the crusts that aren't flaky, just for health reasons.
Yeah, that's a hard way to live.
Well, it's worked for me for 30 years,
Wow.
or has it?
Yeah.
Has it?
That is. I can't delve into that, but you've opened up a can of worms.
Every place I go when I want to buy a pie, and they have great pies out. There's a great place in Cloudcroft. They sell great pies.
Yeah, I've heard about that place.
And every place I go to buy a pie, I have to ask them, what do you use as your shortening ingredient? Crisco, lard, butter. It's going to be one of the 3 usually.
It seems like you're doing an investigation. I'd be afraid. I wouldn't be sure.
Well, it goes into my body after all.
Yeah. Well, yeah. No, that's important. No, I back you.
So.
No, there's a lot of things. I'm doing all sorts of things. Like I'm only eating red meat once a week.
Oh.
We used to. I'm just doing all sorts of things.
That's
and suffering, and having beans and rice and trying to keep away from all. Just like that's a cholesterol thing.
Well, it's good. Preventative medicine is the best way to go. Saves a lot of doctor's bills. I've been meat free for quite a while.
Really?
I haven't eaten red meat in 30 years.
30 years.
30 years.
Quite a while.
It is quite a while, isn't it?
Wow. So you were able to just make that transition.
I did. I had my last steak in Las Cruces. This is when I lived in Hollywood, and came home for Thanksgiving. My girlfriend and I went out and had a steak dinner, and then I went back to Los Angeles, and I haven't had a bite of meat since. This is 1978.
Wow.
And I still eat fish and chicken. I'm not that evolved that I can't not eat that.
Well, I hand it to you. I mean, health that's where it's at.
That's where it's all at. Now, wow. Yeah.
Oh.
Now, we've got 2 minutes before we take our first break.
Oh.
And I want to bring up the Organ Mountains Desert Peaks National Monument Celebration. The Organ Mountains Desert Peaks got passed through Congress. The president approved it against the wishes of a lot of people because they thought it was a land giveaway. Actually, a lot of the land was just transferred from Bureau of Land Management to the Bureau of Interior National Monument. Which means that we can now go and visit these things as a national monument. And they're having a big celebration to commemorate the national monuments being in existence today. I'm sorry, that's tomorrow, Sunday, at the Alameda House. It's a big house set back from the street on the corner of Alameda and Amador.
Oh, yeah, that's a nice house. You're going to celebrate a mountain in a house.
Not just the mountain, but the entire
Why not celebrate the mountains on the mountains?
Well, because I guess it's better to get the food in there in the house because they have a kitchen there.
It's all about catering.
All about catering. There's a lot of space there. From 4 to 7 tomorrow, Sunday, at the Alameda House, it's free of charge. Free food, free enjoyment. There'll be music there, probably some giveaways, a lot of photo ops, and information too.
Information such as the Organ Mountains were once called the Mountains of Oblivion by the conquistadors, a name that I am now working to restore through Congress. And what is Congress? Congress is the official word for a group of baboons. I'll be working with a group of baboons to make sure it's Mountain of Oblivion. And actually, Las Cruces is El Jardín de la Placita de Las Cruces. And we're working to get that name restored as well.
Are you? You mean, so when somebody asks you, what town are you from? I'm from... so what is it?
El Jardín
de la Placita de Las Cruces.
Yes.
I thought Las Cruces was long enough.
Yeah. No, it's not long enough. And the thing is, there's just what do we have? Cruces. That's our thing. Well, we could be calling it El Jardín. We call it the Placita. This would give us a lot of options.
Okay. Well, keep that thought in mind as we go to our break, and we will be right back after these words.
What words?
Jardín de las
This is an important announcement for anyone prescribed the blood thinner medication Xarelto. If you or a loved one has been hospitalized or died from serious internal bleeding, including bleeding of the brain or gastrointestinal system after taking Xarelto, you may be entitled to substantial compensation. Don't delay. Call the Sentinel Group right now. The blood thinner medication Xarelto has been linked to an increased risk of severe internal bleeding, hemorrhaging, stroke, heart attack, and even death. If you or a loved one experienced severe internal bleeding, or if a loved one died as a result of taking the blood thinner medication Xarelto, call the Sentinel Group now. Our network of experienced attorneys are ready to help fight for you. You won't pay a thing until your case is settled. Call the Sentinel Group now for a free case evaluation. Don't wait. If you or a loved one has been hospitalized or died after taking Xarelto, you may be entitled to substantial compensation. Call the Sentinel Group right now.
Listen up, America!
The price of life insurance has gone down 60% over the last 15 years. Many Americans know they need it, and some that have life insurance know they don't have enough. How would your family get by without you? How are you planning for the uncertainties of life? Find out how easy it is to protect the ones you love. The quote is free and there are no obligations. Listen up, America. Call now.
Celebrate, celebrate, Fiesta Motors.
Come and see us today and discover why our service is second to none. In business for over 17 years, we have the right car for you. When you buy a vehicle from Fiesta Motors, we do everything possible to ensure your satisfaction. Located at the corner of El Paseo and Main. See you there.
Celebrate Fiesta Motors, where buying a car is always a celebration.
An important message for Americans in need of health insurance. If there's been a recent change in your life, you are eligible for immediate protection under the Affordable Care Act. If you're uninsured because you missed the enrollment deadline, we can help. To get the protection you need, you can visit the Healthcare Exchange and spend hours exploring your options.
Or you can make a single call to Health Markets and let us do the legwork for you at no cost or obligation. Health Markets Insurance Agency searches thousands of health insurance plans on the exchange and off from more than 120 leading companies like United Healthcare, Humana, and more. We'll find you the right insurance coverage and guarantee the lowest price for plans we offer. And if you qualify for a government subsidy, we'll make sure you get the tax credits you deserve. Talk to us on the phone or meet with a local licensed representative. Why pay more than you have to or risk going without the coverage you need? Put our free service to work for you.
Call the number on your screen now. Operators are standing by. Get the coverage you need. Call now.
And we're back. Hi, this is Double Talk. Mark Steffen along with Jeff Barnett. And we were just talking about the Organ Mountains, and which used to be called the Mountains of Oblivion.
So the conquistadors gave them that name, as well as most of the mountains to the east. Yes, and we were regretting that those names still aren't the names because of their poetry and tourist attraction, I think. He said the Mountains of Oblivion, Desert Peaks National Monument. I would think, wow.
How do you say oblivion in Spanish?
Oblivion.
Oblivion. No, but in Castilian.
Oh,
I think they would be saying it in.
The word forgotten. I don't know.
And
Como se dice oblivion.
And what was the original title of Las Cruces?
El Jardín de la Placita de las Cruces.
Yeah.
The Garden of the Place of the Crosses.
Oh, can you imagine your business card? half the card would be taken up by the name of the town you live in.
That'd be cool. You'd say, excuse me, but I have to tell you the town that I live in. Do you have 5 minutes? Yeah.
Yes, and what's your name, sir? Well, Juan de la Plata Gonzalez III Jr. People, some of the Spanish names get very long and lengthy. El Doña de la Nuestra, de la, some of those names get very lengthy. That's the custom back then. You don't see that much anymore. I kind of like those long names.
Yeah, I would, like, the more names you have to pick from, the more fun you can have. That's what I'm saying.
Absolutely. And right. And when the kids can ridicule you at school, they've got more to work with.
Yeah,
if you've got a name that's 6 names long.
Yeah.
Now, the Aggie Memorial Stadium, right here on the campus at NMSU, is now going to be getting skybox facilities. Some rich alumni, donors, are donating over $1 million to build skyboxes on the east side of the stadium.
Cool.
And I wonder what the seats are going to cost in the skybox and how many they will have. We don't know
El
this
Caja del Cielo.
yet.
And, well, you know.
It won't be good for afternoon games because they'll be looking toward the sun as it sets. They'll all be having to do this.
You might have to put tinting on it. But,
Yes. Skyboxes, does that mean that they'll be serving drinks in the skybox?
Hey, they're serving beer now in the Pan Am Center.
Well, you know, the Stan Fulton Center looks down onto the stadium from the 3rd floor where the restaurant is. I had a nice Valentine's Day dinner up there. And you can go there and have lunch. It's right on the end zone, really. It's right at the edge of the south end zone. And so you can sit there and have drinks and watch the game. And have lunch, too.
Things are getting really sophisticated there at
Absolutely.
Memorial Stadium. Although, when we last went to a bowl game, we were just playing in the old Memorial Stadium there that was now the parking lot next to the English building.
Right.
The end zones would have been in the art building and the English building, and I just want to point that out. Art and English were very instrumental in that 1960, 1959.
Actually, the art building, it's not Williams, what's the art
Williams
building?
Hall.
Where the art department is,
Yeah.
that used to be the gymnasium,
Right.
where the football
Basketball.
players would get ready before they go out for the game.
And the basketball stadium.
And so now Aggie Memorial Stadium, you were telling me, is built on an old Indian graveyard.
According to sources I can't name, yes, they say that it's an Indian graveyard. And if you know the movie Jeremiah Johnson, you know what happens when you trample an Indian graveyard.
Instead of going around it, they took a shortcut through the graveyard.
Yeah.
And tragedy befell them. So you're saying that that's the reason that the Aggies haven't had a winning season since they built that stadium?
Well, I wouldn't say that seriously because there's so much analysis that needs to be done. We've had winning teams. And when we had those winning teams, what happened? And I think we really need to go back and look at that. But usually we were taking, I think what Doug Martin is doing, bringing in the local players, the smaller guys, the faster guys, and playing a different kind of game where they leave it all on the field when they're done. And that's what I like about this team.
Well, you know,
I don't know if that was a question you asked me.
Not only do the Aggies tend to lose here, they also lose in other stadiums. Are those stadiums also built on graveyards?
Yeah, that's true. Well, that was something that was told to me. I don't know information on that. I can't back that up. But I think what we need is, well, maybe the direction we're going. We'll see what this. We just put the freshman and sophomore teams together. You got to give this team a couple more years.
Well, the Aggie football team does seem to to be cursed, and I think that the Cruces High varsity team could beat the Aggie football team. I'd love to see that game.
I technically work for New Mexico State University.
But you're allowed to have an opinion.
I'm not going to be able to have one.
You're not going to.
But I can just say that I back the Aggies 100%, and I think Doug Martin's on the right path. And but I think I think we've had other troubles in our football team have to do with the fact that we've just been, every time we get on a winning streak, we just sort of change directions drastically, and we don't look at why we actually had a winning team. Back when we were kind of like coming from Nebraska, we had a little connection with Nebraska. Tony Samuel and all these people, we would getting Nebraska's wouldn't take recruits, they'd come to us, and I don't know.
How could NMSU possibly hope to compete when they just don't have the money to recruit and to get a really good squad together? The money's just not there. I don't care how many Aggie supporters there are and donate money. We just don't have the program. We don't have the money. Now the basketball team, that's something else. They're doing fine. They're not doing great, but they always get into the WAC tournament, and sometimes they win the WAC tournament and they go to the NCAA tournament, and as they seem to be doing this year again.
Oh yeah, no, I think that's a great seniors. Daniel Mullins, DK Eldridge, Remy Berry, and Chili, and all those guys. I think this is a team that could actually do something.
Right. They won't be Kentucky. We know that, but
are we going to be up? No. Well, when we get the brackets, we'll find out.
Right. Now, this week up in Santa Fe, the Senate up there failed to pass the right-to-work bill. So New Mexico will not become a right-to-work state anytime soon. So the unions can breathe a sigh of relief, I guess. Do you work for? Are you a part of the teachers' union?
There's not a teachers' union for college or university. It's just K through 12.
Oh, okay. Have you ever been a part of the teachers' union?
I plead the fifth. No, I've never been a part of the teachers union.
I see. Oh, you were a right-to-work teacher. You didn't join, but you took part of the benefits that the union people had?
I don't really know what I'm doing.
No?
Yeah, I mean, there was an attempt to organize at NMSU, and it fell apart. And for reasons I think had more to do with the national union that came here.
Right. They don't want to unionize out there if they can help it.
Yeah. But I don't know. I understand people's, they don't like unions too much down here. But my thing is, you can make it a right-to-work state if you want, but first you got to build an economy. And to build the economy, you have to actually have a better school system. And so the thing is, you know, a lot of the discussions that they're having there are interesting discussions to have, but I think this state's immediate problem is to really figure out how we're actually going to economically get on the ball.
Well, now you mentioned education. You know, those exams, those PARCC exams, PARCC, it stands for, well, we're going to put that up on the screen, what it stands for. But, you know, so...
Because we couldn't possibly memorize 5 letters.
It's not our fault. We're victims of the American education system. Partnership for Assessment and Readiness for College and Careers. Now, these are the exams the students walked out on. They refused to take, many of them. And some people have called for the office holders who are in favor of this, maybe the school board itself, they should be required to take these exams. And if they can't pass the exams, they shouldn't be allowed to run for office next time. What do you think?
Well, the exams we give them are how well they're doing and stuff. Actually, if I have a serious point about this, I don't want to bring the show down.
Well, you can't
but I mean, it's just they need to do some research in education. And I'll tell you something. A high school in New York City, New Dorp, was going under, completely going under.
Yeah.
They did everything. Fired teachers. They were about to be taken over. What did they do? They put analytical writing in every classroom. Math, biology, industrial arts. They had to do extensive, intensive analytical writing in every class. New Dorp High School, New York City, is now a model school. It went from worst to first. So if you want to get better in New Mexico in education, you got to do critical reading, critical writing, intensive and analytical in every class, and lots of it at every grade level. And that's how you're going to get a better education system.
They don't teach critical thinking.
But if test A or test B, if test B is more rigorous, great. But give up once a year, put that in somebody's file. But if you want Mexico's education to turn around, Susanna and Hannah, you want to do some critical reading and writing, analytical reading and writing in every class. Look at what New Dorp High School did. It's in the Atlantic Monthly, September 2012. Do some research. Don't just test us to death.
There you go.
God, it's boring. It's mind-numbing. Do you want to bore people to death?
I'm sorry, what?
Please.
Oh. And with that, listen, Jeff, before you get
started. Sorry, I didn't mean to bring you down to my...
But look, you know, there's things going on this weekend that are fun to do.
Oh, okay,
I just want to make sure we get that in. There's 2 plays going. One is opening. One opened last night. And there's one going on at the Black Box Theater, at the Community Theater. This is the 2nd weekend for the play at the Community Theater. The Hot House opens this weekend. It's on tonight, and it'll be on for 2 more weeks after this weekend. Recreational Living, this will be the 2nd weekend at the Las Cruces Community Theater. And, the Crossroads City Derby is going on. They're having, what is it?
2 o'clock Saturday today.
Yep.
Right, at Farley's Restaurant. The Crossroads City Derby is we'll have anyone who's interested in joining the Derby team, come and get information at Farley's at 2 o'clock today.
That's roller derby.
And roller derby. And they're just let's just get together for get information. But Derby season will be on the way.
All right, well, that's it. I think we're about out of time, Jeff.
Oh, totally.
Now, time flies when you have a lot of fun like this. Thanks for sitting in for Michael. I appreciate it.
Hey.
And thanks to everybody out there on TV Land. We'll be back next time, same time, same.
Get better, Michael.